the new Perfume Genius album, Ugly Season, has arrived. And first of all, great name for an album.
Great name.
Perfume Genius, we haven't talked about them in 2 years. When they really, I guess I should say, when he,
Yeah.
speaking about Michael Hadrius, really I think broke out in a way. I think No Shape in 2017 was like a step forward, but then Set My Heart on Fire immediately gained him a lot of attention and a
Yeah.
lot of acclaim and really kind of shot his star upwards. If you go back and listen to our review, I was really high on the album. I still go back and listen to a couple of those songs. Queen is one of a song I go back to quite a bit from that one, but On the Floor is also one that I really like from that. And so Ugly Season, I was looking forward to it, but I'm still trying to like wrap my head around this because on the one hand, I really feel like the music is like high level music and really well made and really well produced. On the other hand, I don't know if I like really like loved listening to it like the first couple goes around. As I've listened to it more and more, certain like things are popping out and growing on me. But what was your response to this, Dave?
Yeah, I just want to say too, Queen is actually off an earlier album, not from Set My
Oh,
Heart on
okay.
Fire immediately. But yeah, Ugly Season is mainly instrumental, so that inevitably is going to turn some people off. You know, when we do hear Michael Hadrius's vocals, they're often very low pitched or distorted or barely there at all. You know, it's definitely different from the past work, and it, I'm kind of like you, where it's like it's kind of hard to grapple with something that like I'm not like super like digging when I'm necessarily listening to it, just because it's so like moody. But overall, it's just often quite understated, and it's like I have to really process these as like instrumental tracks, experimental instrumental tracks. It's just different than what I was thinking, and I started kind of just like gravitating towards like, okay, what does this song kind of remind me of?
Hmm.
Because the lyrics, the vocals are so uh, uh, hard to find half the time. You know, a lot of these songs don't have any vocals, so I was just like, what is this like making me think of? Because yeah, it's like it's really good instrumentation. You hear all kinds of instruments, you know, but it's definitely a like a special like cocktail of music here.
Yeah, a cocktail music is like a good way to put it because even the songs alone are very like unstructured and will switch up from one thing to the next. And it starts off with Just a Room, which is a pretty like toned down track for me. Goes into Harem, which is this longer kind of expansive track that I don't know, kind of lost me until like the last like maybe 2 minutes when like the like I don't know if it's like a keyboard or I don't know if it's like a distorted like violin or something in the background kind of starts to pitch in. Then they have this like these synths that are very like I don't know, like plucky and like kind of bouncy, kind of coming in for like the last minute or so. That was when I started to perk up, and then Teeth kind of starts off with that same sound, like almost like some like bells, kind of like popping a little bit more. Um, but Teeth, I didn't really feel grabbed by either. Pop Song was a step in the right direction, but I really didn't feel like the album super grabbed me until maybe Eye in the Wall through Hellbent. That was probably like the 3 song run. I was like, okay, there's something I'm grabbing onto here, but I felt pretty listless for a lot of this. It sounds
Yeah,
like you were similar.
yeah, totally. You know, I was just trying to pull away anything from the early stuff. You know, I think pop song, the production, especially to that point, is like some of the bigger, more livelier variety to that point. And then you go into Scherzo, which is really this like piano medley
Piano.
more than anything
Yeah.
else. And I was like, you know what this reminds me of? This is like some Charlie Chaplin silent film shit. That's what I'm
Hmm.
hearing right now. You mentioned Hellbent. I think Hellbent's like the coolest song to revisit, mainly instrumental again, but that one's like kind of like a more like industrial sound. And I was like, you know what, Blade Runner, that's what I'm feeling right now. It's like
Mm.
I could definitely see like that in like a you know like a montage or something. But it's like I think it's just weird to like hear this from someone who is so well regarded for his lyrics about like important stuff. Like the gay experience, for example. It's like to hear this album, which like I read some of the reviews, and people are like finding all this meaning, and it's like I just don't know where you're getting all this from, because like I just don't have that many takeaways from instrumentals. I guess I don't know. Maybe that's just a personal fault.
Yeah, I think this is an album that if I give it a few more listens, I'll probably have some more things to pull out of it. But like you said, it's just there's so much going on here that you really have to like interpret and kind of put together. I think there's really just like moments, and I think that 3 track run I talked about at the end, Eye on the Wall, Photograph, and Hellbent, they each kind of have a moment somewhere in the middle where the song like breaks through from something that I wasn't really enjoying to something else. Like in Eye on the Wall, it kind of goes from this like I don't know, like just like it's just like very muted, just kind of like clickiness, to then this like more textured, layered, like drums kind of coming in like around you, and then it breaks through to like this even more like relieving like moment where it's almost like everything kind of falls out and you're just kind of like riding this vibe, which is really nice. Hellbent, like you mentioned, I think is the coolest track, and that goes through a lot of changes. But like that has like drums and guitars and these like churning and like kind of like pulsing synths, which are really cool. And Photograph, I think, also has similar to Eye on the Wall, like a very like relieving like middle moment to it. So like I think like if you're gonna listen to this, you really have to like go into it with the idea like I'm gonna try to find something in this and really like try to make something of it. Because I think if you're going in looking for Hadrius to kind of tell you this is what it is, you're gonna be just as lost as I think we feel right now. So um, it's good. It's like well made music, but I just don't know if I fully got it. If you did have an interpretation of it, I would like people to leave those thoughts below because I'd like to hear how people are
Yeah.
receiving this.